Hi, my name is Winifred Hayes, and today my argumentative speech is on the ethical dilemma of whether or not children between the ages of 0 years old to 6 years old should be taught about homosexuality in the school system. Children will be taught about gay issues in math, English, science, and geography lessons. As part of the government-backed drive to celebrate the gay community, math problems could be introduced that involve gay characters. In geography classes, students will be asked why homosexuals move from the countryside to the cities, and words such as outing and pride will be used in language classes. The lesson plans are designed to raise awareness about lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual issues, and in theory could be used for children as young as 4. Some of the pros of this issue is it increases awareness. It also promotes tolerance. It eliminates bullying. And also, it's a way to make children more aware of sexual issues. And it also promotes equality and tolerance. Some of the cons for this issue are, number 1, children are too young to learn about the ins and outs of sex. Number 2, that should be left up to the parents and not the school system. 3, tax dollars should not be used in this type of curriculum, but it should be used in other school curriculums. And also it's a way of brainwashing kids. It is promoting homosexuality and is hidden under the agenda of promoting tolerance and awareness. And of course, the number 1 issue is that it's morally wrong. And also, another one of the cons is that sex is an intimate issue that should be discussed among partners in the privacy of the bedroom, not discussed widely in the school system. Well, my take on this is that I feel that children between the ages of 0 to 6 years old are very, very impressionable. At 6 years old, or younger than 6 years old, you don't think about sex. All you think about is playing with your friends. You think about going to the amusement park. You think about ice cream. You always want to go to McDonald's. You don't think about the odds and ends of sex, especially about their body parts. And sexual education is generally taught in 5th grade, where young girls and young boys are developed. They notice that their body is changing. Girls are developing. Guys are growing hair in places that they didn't have before. So that's a perfect time to discuss with children or youth about the difference between the boys and the girls. And sexual education has not got so deep and explicit to discuss the ins and outs of sexual intercourse. That's not something that's discussed in sexual education classes for 5th graders. But the ages of 4 years old is too young to teach children about sex. First of all, they're just learning about their body parts. They're just learning that mommy and daddy is different. They don't know what these different parts are for. It's complicated to them. They're just learning how to tie their shoes, say their alphabet, learn how to read, count their numbers. And most of all, they're playing. They're learning how to make decisions. They're learning how to interact with their parents and other youths their age. Learning about sex and actual intercourse is too complicated for them. And especially to teach them about the exact actions of what intercourse really is. And a lot of the homosexual community, they're really hard on the Christian community and the other religions because they feel that people are saying it's a religious issue. But let's go even deeper than that. Children are very impressionable. At the age of 4 years old, when you teach a child something, it grows up to them. And the more it grows up in them. And the more you tell a child something, the more you tell anyone something, they start believing it, even if you tell them a lie. Once you start seeing it and hearing over and over, you start thinking about it, then thoughts start going around in your head. So I believe that the underlying agenda is to kind of promote homosexuality to young children, like open them up to it. So as they grow older, they feel they have options. Now, the problem that I have with this issue is that, a lot of people can say, okay, homosexuality is wrong, and people say, Christians say, oh, you're doomed to hell. But like I said, it goes deeper than this. Okay? First of all, in a Christian community, we teach our children to be abstinent, meaning that we want them to sustain from sex until marriage. We teach them premarital sex is wrong. Now, how did another community teach the children, not only teach them about sex, but teach them about different other alternative lifestyles and sexual acts? First of all, they teach a child as young as 3, 4, 5, 6 years old about sex and the actual act of intercourse. It's kind of yucky to them. And to teach them the ins and outs of homosexuality is very, very complicated for a child. What are we trying to do to our children? You know, in my conclusion, I feel that those who support this issue, especially the homosexual community and the gay activists, they are operating in a system of egoism, ethical egoism, where it's a self-centered theory, and they're only operating out of what they feel, and they're not concerned about others or how their actions will affect others. In egoism, all you're concerned about is yourself. You're self-centered. They're not thinking about the children. They're not thinking about how impressionable they were when they were children. All they're thinking about, this is what I want to do. This is what I choose to do in my life. Who don't accept it, that's fine for them. But hey, wait a minute. We have to be concerned about our children. And those that oppose this law being passed, of children being taught this in elementary schools, they are operating under the divine command theory, which says that God is the ultimate judge, and when we do things contrary to his law, it's wrong, and it's not right, and it's immoral. So in my conclusion, I feel that this should not be taught to children between the ages of 0 years old to 6 years old, because they are too young and they're too impressionable, and tax dollars should be spent on something more important. And with the recent decline in our deficit in the economy, it's kind of strange to me that they would want to invest money in a curriculum such as this. There's a lot of other places where money can go, and also there's so many budget cuts that's happening. Why would you draw money from another entity to try to promote this? So in my conclusion, I feel this law should not be passed. I think that parents already have the authoritative right given by God to train their children and teach their children what they want them to know. A child, when they start being curious and they want to know about sex, their parents should be the one that they talk to, that they can go to. They shouldn't be taught widely in the school system, because a child's development is very, very important and significant to that parent. So how your child develop and grow is up to you as a parent. So I know I said this before, but in my conclusion, I don't think this should be passed. I oppose it, and it's because children are our future. And I have pictures in back of me. It's not just a distraction, but I wanted you to take a look at these children, at their faces, how innocent they are. This is like 3 years old, 4 years old, 2 years old. These children are impressionable. They want to play, they want to run, they want to laugh, they want to jump. Kids should be more concerned about playing, having fun. Let's keep smiles on their faces. Keep them happy. And in my conclusion, the ultimate people who should be responsible for a child's education and what they learn about sex should be the parents. And it should be widely spread in the families. The families, the moms and dads should be responsible on what the children are taught.